Hey, hey, hey! We're at the Scale Garage here for another ScaleTalk video, and today we're going to talk about projects. I think you might have a couple projects of your own.
Yes, I got a couple here.
Yeah.
One's almost done.
There's a lot of projects kicking around here at the Scale Garage, that's for sure. We're trying to build up some new frame setups, and I got to get my big custom-motive Ford finished up. It looks like you're building a pre-runner Datsun here?
Yeah,
is that what this is?
78 Datsun King Cab.
If you've ever found a real one of these, I'd buy it.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, I'm super into the old mini truck stuff. I just love these. This is a beautiful truck.
I've always liked this. I almost bought one when I was younger. I almost bought one when I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
This old guy, he had one of these things, and he had it done up, and I said, anytime you want to sell it, come and see me first. But he never did. So now I get to have my own.
Was it a King Cab too, the other one?
No, it was just a regular cab. But I saw this one online, and I liked the King Cab look to it.
It has a little more meaty cab, eh? It is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it makes the body look a little longer.
So how long have you been working on this project then?
That one, about 3 weeks.
And you started off making the shell, or did you start making the frame, or where did you get going in it?
I start making the body first, and then I make the frame to match.
Cool.
Because then I turn upside down, then I make a pattern for my frame that fits this body specifically.
Oh yeah, I can see, you can kind of get a glimpse of it there underneath, how you're getting going on the frame rails and stuff. That's cool. So the inspiration, of course, for this is the real one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I saw it and I just fell in love with it. I figured, well, I haven't done one of these. Doing all the older truck, but this one I really like it. So that's kind of a challenge. It was the front grille was the most challenge of this thing, because if you take a look, it's all really thin little wires, and those are all put in individually. And that took me probably about 4 hours.
It's amazing how much work that goes into these, eh?
Oh, it's I just don't even want to know the amount of hours that are in it. It's a pastime. I enjoy it, and that's all that counts.
Yeah. You got a plan for this? What kind of color are you gonna do?
I'm toying with white and the Nissan color of blue and red, with the Nissan on the side, and maybe some decals. Kind of make it look more of a
sponsored
vehicle.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You're sort of creeping up in the history lesson with this. It's 78. You know, all your trucks are all in the 60s, aren't they?
And
early
the 50s, yeah.
50s, yeah. So you 78. I don't know. You're breaking the mold.
Yeah. Well, I made a 79 Ford, like that one.
Yeah.
And I think that's the latest one I made.
79.
79 would be the latest model. But I'm thinking of doing an 85 Comanche.
Oh, nice.
You know, the pickup style?
Yeah.
That's I'm kind of Googling it and taking a look and seeing, you know, the Comanche, the old style Comanche with the bed on the back.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking at.
You built the Cherokee Chief already?
Yes. Yes.
So the Comanche would be a nice addition to that fleet. Eh?
We'll bring that one out soon.
Yeah, yeah.
And we also did the Jeep Willie.
Yes.
The 62, I believe, or 63 Jeep Willie.
Yeah.
That was my second model that I made from scratch.
Wow.
So there's a few little flaws in that one, but like I said, the only way you'll learn is by doing it.
Keep going.
Keep going and persist at it. Yeah. And that's it.
Let's talk about some of the stuff that you're doing with the big quad here. This is a really unique truck.
This is my 59 Ford F100 stepside.
So was there ever one of these, a crew cab like that in real life? Was there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because that would have been a monster of a truck.
Yeah. No, that's where I got my idea from.
Yeah.
You know, the whole back comes off for right now.
Yeah.
And then the front. And then I made all the bench seating.
Yep.
All the seats are all made. I was gonna put some racing seats, but I figured that this model, I like to have a old school.
Vintage bench.
Yeah, vintage bench. You know, vintage dash.
Yeah.
so I can do everything that I need to do. I still have to do some touch-ups and painting on it, but no, it's a big truck. Let me tell you, it's a heavy truck. All the front bumper is all molded out of 16 gauge, and then brazed.
So you did these 2 compound curves in 2 separate layers, and
that's
then
right.
connected them.
Yeah.
Do you have a metal roller for that? Like, that's a lot of work.
No, I just I put in my vise.
Start hammering.
Start hammering.
Wow.
It's noisy, but and then some parts that I can't bend, I'll heat.
Yeah.
And then I'll bend them then.
Yeah.
Because then I can get my compound curves a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little more supple to work with.
That's a nice idea, you know, to spend the time doing the metal work, actual steel there, because it will protect your body.
Oh yeah. You know, that's pretty heavy duty steel.
Yeah, it is.
16 gauge.
Yeah, that's serious. I think my Hyundai has thinner metal than that.
And then of course, and then all of the skid plate is all 16, and the rear bumper.
Yeah.
Is
nice.
Also, it's really hard sometimes to look for bumpers or the stock bumpers because they had very plain bumpers.
Yeah.
So I just try to make my own type of bumpers. You know what I mean? This is where my creativity. I like it.
You have to take some kind of creative license in the scale trucks, don't you?
Exactly.
They have to be achievable.
That's right.
You know.
And if you don't try, then you do another one. You know, try and try and try. That's how you get good at this.
So I kind of see a theme here with these trucks. You're using these skid plate areas here to give you some electronics tray mounting and stuff. You're typically putting your batteries in the back, it looks like.
Yep.
What are you using for drivetrain in these? Are you using it looks like a RC 4-wheel drive?
The
like
planetary gears?
Yeah.
I use that, and then I use the disruptor tranny.
Okay.
The transfer case.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can see it on that one, but we can show you later on. But that's basically how I do all of my rigs, because if I use any type of other transmission, I won't be able to fit it in. So this is a good way of putting everything in line.
It's all sort of center.
And these are, again, these are all, you know, I'm still making it, so it's still, these are parts that I haven't fastened in yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I can take a look at and figure out how they fit.
So what's the next stage of this project? Are you gonna keep going on the body, do the windows yet? Are you gonna finish up the framework yet? I'm like, where's the next thing to do?
The next thing is wait till the body dries a bit, so I'm able to buff the paint out of it, or buff any of the imperfections. And then after that, I start putting windshields and all the finer details. Like I made these windshield wipers.
Yeah.
That will fit. And then once I'm done all that, then that's it. Move on to the next project.
I think there's a benefit to actually making your own components, right? Like I like to cheat sometimes and use wipers off the axial racing tree or something that was really made for drift cars or whatever. But I found in the last couple of builds, they're never quite the right size. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost, but not quite.
That's right.
And so there's a real benefit in just saying, forget it, I'm not even going to go looking for wipers, let's just make some, you know, like it looks fantastic, and it's going to fit. You made it to fit.
Yeah. I just find that this windshield requires smaller wipers than the Ford high lift wipers.
Yeah,
or the Tamiya, the Toyota.
Yeah, that's true.
Wipers, and the axle wipers, well, they're just too small.
Yeah.
They're not even, they're not even to scale.
Yeah.
But I use a lot of the axial, the bucket lights.
Yes.
You know, all the running lights sometimes, the rear end. You know, this one I got the lights from my Wrangler.
Yep. They look perfect on there too, by the
and
way.
And again, nothing is mounted because I'm still working on it. Yeah. So if I have to take it out to repaint, nothing is set.
Oh, that's handy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're keeping things modular until you're really sure that it's done.
That's right. And then I can put everything back together once I like everything fits together. So it's a work in progress. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And this is the fun part I like about doing this. It's all the little detail stuff.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at with the Ford too. I've been fiddling with this Ford body here from Custom Motive for a long time, and we finally got it running. The first run video, I'll put a link below. And now it's, I gotta make mirrors, I gotta make wipers, I gotta make the dash, I got the rest of the interior in, but I gotta put exhaust on it, and there's a bunch of little things.
But that's the joy of this hobby.
It is. I really like the detail stuff too.
That's what brings it all together.
Yeah. And you're doing exhaust on your trucks too. That's great.
That's right. Not the full exhaust because I just don't have the room for it.
Yeah.
But as long as my exhaust tips show, I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what matters. You got an opening gate on this truck too?
Yeah. Yeah. Everything opens, and then my inner fender wells, I'll put them in after because I screwed on my fenders.
Oh yeah.
And then these fender wells just fit inside.
Oh,
and
at that.
I'll glue them in after.
And that covers up the hardware.
That covers everything up. But
Isn't
I'm
that
not.
neat?
Yeah, I'm not ready to glue that in yet. So these are just parts that
Sure.
that I can fasten later on.
So you said, I think I remember you saying you did enamel on this, right?
No, this is lacquer.
Okay.
Duplicate color. I go into Cane Tire or wherever and kind of look at my colors. Like I said, I have over 70 of them, so I'm just trying to mix it all up.
Yep.
Because
Single
otherwise
stage.
I'll have the two same colors all the time, and I'm always trying to come up with two different looks.
Nice. Are you going to do the chrome tape on the grill for this truck too?
I haven't decided yet. On this one, I haven't decided. Like I said, everything comes apart. You see how my lights are attached?
Oh, isn't that cool?
So everything just gets put in afterwards. Just slide it all in.
Look at that, eh? Boy, that's really worth it. I really like that modular kind of thing. That's really cool.
That way I don't have to worry about masking always my headlights.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I did on this one, I didn't realize that they were on, and I sprayed them. So I had to use some of that chrome spray to respray them.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to remember to take parts off before you start painting.
Yes. Oh, I know. I've oversprayed a few things myself. Yeah, it happens.
You're too much in a rush to paint stuff?
Or you forget,
Yeah,
and
that's
you
right.
have a couple hours to put into your truck, and so you give it a go, and next thing you know, it's like, whoops.
What did I do?
Yeah.
But it's only paint. Paint can be covered.
Yep.
So, and of course, make all of my rear view mirrors.
What did you use for that material? Is it styrene?
That's styrene for the mirror itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just used 16 gauge steel.
Yep.
And I bent it.
Yep.
For the arm.
Did you braze on a couple of bolts or something? Or
Yeah.
what is that on the end?
Well, what I did is I used 2mm screws.
Yeah.
I notched it. I put my bolt in there.
Yep.
And I brazed it so that it's threaded and it doesn't look very big.
It's nice and small, yeah.
It's nice and small, and once I'm done, I can just put a nut on there, and away you go. I can fasten it.
You're doing like resin molds too, aren't you, for some of your parts?
Yes, yeah. Some of my seats, again, if I take a seat that I like, I'll cast a mold of it, and then I'll just get some of that plastic resin, fill it all up.
Cool.
And it works really, really great. Then I know I have a perfect seat.
Yep.
Because seats are hard to do. If I can get away from molding it, I'll mold.
Good idea.
So I'm looking into molding some of these bench seats.
They're nice too.
Later on, but again, everybody has a different width.
Yeah.
So bench seats are a little harder.
Yeah.
Because you really can't, because everything it can change.
Yeah.
So where the racing seats, well, you can put them pretty much in anything.
Yeah, you pretty much can.
And then of course the steering wheels, I cast them.
Mm-hmm.
I cast them. I use the I think that was the high lift wheel,
Yeah.
and I just made a cast of it, and now anytime I want to make a steering wheel, and I have different type of casts too.
Can you imagine the amount of work that's in that grill? I mean, I'm just amazed. It's so worth it though. Very nicely done.
As long as I don't put my finger in it.
That'll be okay.
That's right.
You get a stick shoved in it or something there.
Yeah, exactly. So some of these trucks they might not see too much action. They'll see some grass action and maybe a few nice rocks.
We call this DSTP, don't scratch the paint.
That's right. That's right. It's almost like a shelf queen.
It's like a special category for these high build time trucks where you spend this much work on it and polish it and clean it and get it all nice and tweak it, and then you don't really want to bash it you want to drive it though.
That's right. But like I said, in the wintertime, I'll set up my logs in the living room.
There you go.
Run over and I'll test a lot of my trucks. I'll test the suspension. I'll have 4 or 5 logs and I'll just crawl over them.
Yeah.
The weight, I like the weight because all the suspension really works. Nothing bounces.
Yeah.
It looks realistic.
Well, and they definitely have some weight. I mean, you're using a lot of steel.
Yeah.
And that's the weight of that starts to pile up pretty well, and then you're making really good use of our scale tires. I mean, these are actually probably going to bite into the ground pretty good.
Oh yeah. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
A lot of the rims I get are from RC. And sometimes from China.
Nice. Well, it looks really good. This is it's just great to sit around and talk about scale trucks and the stuff that we want to do, and I'm really glad you came by to share all your tips and
thank you very much for having me.
Your build technique, and I learned something today. I mean, I'm going to try this thicker window. That's really cool. Using the thicker material.
That's right. And then after that, you just if you scuff it up, then I always use a bit of that scratch doctor.
Yep.
And I just wax out. Polish up all the scratches.
Yeah.
The
The polycarb is good for that. You can buff it up a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to have you at the studio again. And guys, like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't. And hopefully we'll have Sean back really soon and check out some of his progress with this fantastic quad cab and my new favorite Datsun. And we'll be seeing you guys pretty soon on the channel. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.